Alright, this is Eric Stone with Aspiring Music Writer on YouTube, my YouTube channel. This is something I discussed on Facebook Live, but I wanted to do it on YouTube to get more of a reaction, hopefully. I'm sitting on the front porch drinking a high school beer. I do that a lot. But anyways, trying to build up my YouTube channel, get more subscribers, more feedback and stuff. So, but this is a subject I covered on Facebook Live a week or two ago. But what I want to ask is, do you parents think that their kids should listen to music or movies or whatever? But I'm mainly talking about music with explicit content. I don't think I said that right, but anyway, with bad language or this and that, foul language, talking about murder, guns, whatever, do you think they should? Little background history on me. I mean, I'm not saying this ain't for everybody, or isn't every kid, or, but my deal, I don't have kids of my own. Hopefully one day I do. But I think, and you can agree or disagree with me, I don't care. I want the feedback, but that I think it depends on the kid. I grew up in church. If you don't know me, I'm going to start doing videos like this. I mainly do like YouTube videos of bands singing live or doing something, live, of like, just bands I see. From Randy Rogers to Lucero to, I'm trying to think who else. Robert Earl Keen, mainly the Red Dirt and Texas country, Cody Jinks, Jamie Johnson. But anyways, check out this page. It's called Aspiring Music Writer. I have a blog page too. But anyways, let's get back to the explicit material in music. When I was a kid, my mother was so strict, her parents were so strict, they didn't really let us listen to it. Anything foul language or, anything like that. But as with teenagers, you're going to rebel. But, and I had friends, I'll tell you, another story. I grew up listening to late 80s and early 90s country. And very, very little gospel music, what we sing in church, which I was raised Catholic, which I do consider it gospel, but I think of like Baptist or Pentecostal have more gospel music, because Catholic and Methodist church, they have music, but it's not real lively. But anyways, but like I said, I grew up on artists like George Strait, Toby Keith, Alan Jackson, Tim McGraw, all those, Shadazy, the Dixie Chicks, all those George Strait, late 80s, early 90s country music. Then when I was about 10, 11 years old, my sister started listen to pop music. Of, the late 90s, early 2000s, which I was a preteen, teenager back then. Artists like Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, and then I started listening to that because it was so different. And then I started listening to the radio, or Kisser, I think it was Kisser. I'm not for sure what the actual station was, but they played stuff like Creed, Scott Stapp, Avril Lavigne, Slim Shady was a big, which I didn't realize at the time, but a big influence on me. But before I really discovered Eminem, Slim Shady, aka Marshall Mathers III, I went to a buddy's house, and like I said, I was listening to all the late 80s, early 90s stuff, and the mid 90s, late 2000s, or early 2000s pop music. Spice Girls, whatever. But anyways, and a buddy of mine I went over to a buddy's house, and we were watching Child's Play, which my mother was very mad when I told her about it, because I wasn't even allowed to watch PG-13 movies till I was like 17, literally. But anyways, but that certain night that this happened we'd watched Child's Play, and he let me shave for the first time. My friend showed me how to shave. I had little bit of peach fuzz. And my mom, like I said, my mom was not happy with that either. But he said, "You ever heard of NWA? Niggers with Attitude," which I only say that word in reference to the band. That's the only, I don't say it, I'm not racist, but that's what they were called, which was Dr. Dre, MC Ren, Ice Cube, Yella, I'm trying to think of Eazy-E, but it was really the first gangster rap besides Ice-T, which I found out about years later watching Law and Order. But anyway, and he goes, "You ever heard of NWA?" I was like, "No, what is that, a country band?" He goes, "No, it's a gangster rap." I didn't know what rap was. So at that time, LimeWire was the big thing. And it actually gave you more viruses than a 40-year-old prostitute. But anyways, but LimeWire was the thing when I was a kid, where you downloaded music and other stuff. But anyways, but we listened to Straight Outta Compton, which, funny thing is with NWA, they hardly got radio play because it was so bad with the lyrics. But the white kids liked it. Go back and do the research. I've done the research. That it was a multi-platinum selling record even without any or very little radio play. But anyways, he let me listen to that, and he's like, "You like it?" I said, "I love it, man." But I loved it because it had cuss words in it. I grew up really sheltered. I'm like, this is cool. It's got cuss words. But he goes, "Well, I can bring you a CD," because everybody did that back then. But the funny thing was that I told him, I said, "I can't have that material at my, listen to it. My mom would kill me." He goes, "This is what you do." I was like, "What is that?" He said, "I'm going to burn this CD for you, Straight Outta Compton." And just, it was a blank CD, back we did in the 90s, back in the good old days. But, and he goes, just put Tim McGraw, Toby Keith on it, and she'll never know. I was like, hell, that's a pretty good idea, you know. So anyways, so I did that. Thank God my mother never listened to that, because she would have killed me, brought me back to life, and killed me again. I mean, because you didn't even say but around my mother. Literally, you did not. She still hates that word. But anyways, back to, you know, and I listened to Eminem. He was a big, years later, when I started writing songs, he was a big influence on me. Not because he cussed a lot. I mean, it was back then, when I was a teenager, you know, the early 2000s, I think his first major album came out in 99. But later, when I wanted to be a songwriter, I looked at the way he rhymes. He's better than any black rapper out there. And I'm not racist, but even the black rappers say that, other rappers. He studied the dictionary, man. Just go back, and if you're interested in Slim Shady, go back and review him. I mean, he is obsessed with words, and that's kind of how I am, not as bad as him. But, I mean, he influenced. But anyways, do parents think, or guardians or whatever, think that kids should be listening to songs with explicit lyrics? You know, because this is my defense. I think they should, dependent on the child. This is my defense. And you can disagree with me all you want. I don't care. Agree with me. Like, I went to church, but I knew right from wrong. You know, if a child knows right from wrong, you know, because like my dad, he cussed around us, but we never cussed. We knew it was wrong. You know, my mom and dad taught us, you know, you don't say these words. And even though your dad and mom are saying, you know, but I think there's some kids that shouldn't, because they're influenced. And I never was the type that I was influenced by what just somebody says. It was just a song to me. But anyways, back to my defense of why is, you go back even to the days of bluesman Robert Johnson back in the 30s. He was putting references to songs with murder in them. You know, and to me that's just as bad as any gangster song out there. Like Ice-T's Cop Killer, or Straight Outta Compton, or whatever. I mean, you know, even Chris Knight, he's got songs about murder, but he don't cuss in his songs. So, you know, but if you go back and really read between the lines, or read the lyrics instead of, you know, it's still about murder and, you know, or, you know, domestic abuse. I mean, I think that's even some of your biggest country songs, you know, biggest hits, you know, are about, you know, different things than what people really think they are about, you know. But like I said, I mean, I think depends on the child. But like I said, I want to be a songwriter. Well, I am a songwriter, but not like a paid songwriter yet. But hopefully one day God will bless me with that. But like I said, if it weren't for Eminem, NWA, Ice Cube, all of them, like I said, I get all my influences not just from Texas country artists like Ragweed, Randy Rogers Band, Reckless Kelly, Mickey and the Motor Cars. I mean, I get it from 90s country, rap, pop, Americana, blues, whatever. All the different styles of music. Like I said, I've always wanted to write a rap song. I just hadn't done it yet. It just hadn't. It's not. It's still in God's timing. And I know some of y'all might not like me talking about God, but I love God. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, none of us would. But, like I said, I hope to get feedback on this video. Because I really want to start, getting more subscribers and I've been getting a little bit of feedback, but hopefully it gets more and more. But I think I'm going to start doing these weekly, these videos. I'm going to record them on my phone and upload them to YouTube. The next one I think I'm going to do which I'm going to do it backwards, is do an intro, or not an intro, but when I went to the mental hospital, so stay tuned.